Next year, the United Nations will be celebrating its 75th anniversary. Yet for many, the Charter's promise to save succeeding generations from the scourge of war remains unfulfilled. Deadly and protracted armed conflicts continue to be waged throughout the world. They are most often fought with the same basic types of weapons and munitions that devastated cities in Europe and East Asia during the Second World War. And these include artillery, rockets, and airstrikes, which all involve heavy explosive munitions. Together with the Charter, the 1949 Geneva Conventions aimed to protect civilians from the ravages of war. However, the rapid urbanization of the world's population is moving armed conflict into villages, towns, and cities. The impact on civilians and the infrastructure they rely on has been horrific. The International Committee of the Red Cross estimates that 50 million people are currently affected by armed conflict. Data collected by the organization Action on Armed Violence indicates that when explosive weapons are used in populated areas, 90% of the victims are civilians. This problem must be tackled at many levels, including through the tools of arms control. In his Agenda for Disarmament, the Secretary General of the United Nations pointed to lax controls over the use of force as a growing source of human insecurity. He observed that the widespread and increasing availability of military-grade and improvised weapons have made armed conflicts more protracted, more complex, more disruptive, and more difficult to recover from. Non-state actors are increasingly well-equipped. To address these growing concerns, last month the Secretary General and the President of the International Committee of the Red Cross issued an unprecedented joint appeal for decisive action to protect civilians caught in the crossfire of urbanized armed conflict. I urge you to heed their call, to develop political and practical measures to avoid the use of explosive weapons in populated areas and to take armed conflict out of our cities.